Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maud Toussaint Como. This is the channel where we talk about fragrances and arts. I invite you to stay until the end of this video for a special announcement. I have a giveaway, so if you would bear with me and stay until the end of this video, I will tell you about that giveaway. What it is about is, as I have been clamoring up the top of my lung this whole month in each of my videos, this is the month of my birthday. And in each video that I do, I am doing a giveaway to one of my subscribers in order to help me celebrate the birthday. So stay until the end of the video and I'll tell you about what the giveaway is and what the rules are. Today is another tag video and I am just excited to play this game. This is Show Me Your Dent. And my God, do I have a lot of dent to show you. And here is my arsenal of dents. Believe it or not, I have a lot of dents. So when the lovely YouTuber Yummy411 invited me to do this video, I was just so very excited to oblige. So very excited because, like I said, I have a lot of dent. So the tag video is Show Me Your Dent. And what it is it's about perfumes that we have made the biggest dent in. So as fragrance lovers, it's a challenge, believe it or not, because when you have many fragrances and you use fragrances and you like, okay, they're still pretty full. So it's very interesting to see that there are fragrances that we actually use a lot of. So these are fragrances we have dents on, and I just couldn't believe that I have made so many dents in my fragrances. And what I like about those fragrances that I have made dents in is that they all have a story, they all have something special, some more than others, and some just for practical reasons. I have a dent on them because they're easy wear fragrances, easily grab fragrances. So I'm going to go over them very quickly with you. So my first dent, probably one of my biggest dent, is my Chanel No. 5 Eau de Toilette. Clearly, who can have Chanel and not make a dent out of it? I've been a Chanel person for a long time. It's probably my 10th bottle. I've been using Chanel since college a long time ago. So that's always, probably for a long time before I was even into perfume and was even thinking about it, this is all I was buying. So you could say this was my signature scent. So, so I have a big dent in my Chanel No. 5. And of course, if you're a Chanel person and you have Coco Mademoiselle, it's hard not to have a dent in it. So this bottle is probably my second or third bottle. So it's an honorable mention in terms of dent, but still I've made quite a bit of dent in it. So that's Coco Mademoiselle. So these are my two Chanel with my biggest dent in them. The second house that I'm pretty obsessed with is Hermes. So I have a big dent in almost all my Hermes perfumes. So show them to you together because there's so many of them. So Jour d'Hermes. You can see I have a dent in that. And this is a fragrance I've talked about. This is a fragrance that makes you feel just beautiful. And I love to wear this fragrance if I'm going just casual or even going out to a beautiful casual wedding. I remember wearing this fragrance with a white suit in summer. It's just Parisian, chic, rich vibe all the way. That's U.S and Canada. And I have actually several backup in U.S and Canada. And in the same token, I have Eau de Rhubarbe Écarlate, which is one of the first cologne by Hermes. And I just love this. I have a big dent in it. On summer, I just cannot do without just splashing this on me. Even if I'm going to wear other fragrance, right out of the shower, I would just splash Eau de Rhubarbe Écarlate on me. I just cannot get enough of it. And in the same token, I have another Hermes, which is Un Jardin sur le Nil. Actually, all my garden collection have dents in them. I just didn't want to bring them, but Un Jardin sur le Nil is probably the one right now I have the biggest dent in. So yes, those three Hermes are just beautiful, fresh, lovely, rich, classic vibe fragrances. I totally have a big dent in my Hermes. Let's go into something very, very practical. And I always have this fragrance around. And for practical reason, this is by Clarins. And that's Eau Dynamisante by Clarins. And I'm like at the end right now, so I already have a bottle that's full waiting for me. And for a very specific reason. This is almost like a skincare fragrance. It is hydrating. It is made with essential oil. And it is beautiful. It has bitter orange and it has thyme and it's refreshing. It's beautiful. I cannot really wake up in the morning and have my face made up or just part of my skincare routine and not splash this fragrance on my neck, because you should know that, especially if you're getting a little bit, you know, in your 40s or whatnot, this spot right here in the woman's body is so sensitive. You cannot really put fragrance in it because the fragrances have alcohol. So this one, because it's a skincare, it's hydrating, it's moisturizing. You know, you can put it at night. That's really the only fragrance that I actually use right on my chest area right here, in my décolleté area. So this is why I always have Clarins Eau Dynamisante. So huge dent, like infinite dent right here. The next set of dents I have is because this was for a long time, before I had a lot of perfumes, my signature scent. So this is Miss Dior Le Parfum. And it's classy, it's spicy, it's beautiful. It just makes you feel so good. And always it makes you feel pulled together. So I have a dent in it. And that's my Miss Dior Le Parfum. Another set of fragrances that I have dents in, and I always have several of those little stars because I just have them everywhere. I had them, some in my office, some in my locker, and because my husband just loved it, and maybe when we were dating a long time ago, I used to wear them, but there's never been a time when I've worn this Angel that he has not complimented me on it. I mean, all men tend to compliment you on Angel. The thing with Angel is that you don't want to put a lot. Once you put a lot, to me, it becomes too much. So my trick has been to really just dab into the Angel. And once you do that, you know, this patchouli becomes so beautiful. So I always have a lot of my little stars around, and all of them always have very big dents right here. Now, where else I have dents? Right here. That's La Vie est Belle. It's even missing the beautiful little ribbon that it comes with. But that was a Mother's Day gift for my kid. And it's just a very, very pretty fragrance. The original is going to, it was just a hit when it came, and it remained a hit. There is a reason for it. It's a very popular fragrance. Again, this is another fragrance, you know, that has this patchouli and all these beautiful ingredients in them. And you don't want to put a lot in it. Once you know not to put a lot of La Vie est Belle, then you have a beautiful fragrance. And this is why it's such a huge dent right here. Other dents. This is J'adore. This is a beautiful jasmine fragrance. That's probably my 4th bottle. I don't know. For a long time, this is the only thing my husband knew of to buy me. So that's what he was always buying me, because that's all he knew about. It was like, oh, J'adore. Okay, J'adore. So these I've used J'adores over and over again. The new flankers are even nicer, but I've just stayed with the original. And this J'adore right here is my dent fragrance. And Amazing Grace by Philosophy. It's one of the simplest but yet most beautiful and versatile fragrance. It's like a little black dress of a fragrance. It is so versatile, and it smells so rich. It smells so classy. It smells so pulled together. There is no way you can have Amazing Grace and not have a dent in it. You can wear it to sleep. You can wear it to a wedding. You can just wear it to go work out and to go shopping. You name it. It's just one of those fragrances that, and you cannot even overdo it, because it's just beautiful for every season. That's totally a dent-worthy fragrance, and this is where I am with my Amazing Grace. Plus, I just love that sentence, and I'm always reading it, and it says, in the end, it all comes down to one word: grace. And that is so true. Being gracious is everything. Another fragrance that I'm always talking about because I love so much, so clearly I have a dent in, because that was my work fragrance. I was always going to work with it. It made me feel very good in the morning, very energized, very pulled together. And I've found that I just reach out for it over and over again. And that's my Tiffany & Company Eau de Toilette. I've come across the one Tiffany & Love lately, and I plan to get it because I think it's also so beautiful. But this original one right here, I have a dent in it, and it's just classy, redefined. It's like a beautiful diamond of a fragrance. Let's continue to see where my dents are. Now, the Flower Bomb Bloom by Victor Wolf. They have a lot of flankers, but this is my favorite. It is so tart. It is so refreshing. On summer, I just can't have enough of it. And even at home, I just can't have enough of it. It's just so beautiful. I just really love this fragrance. I had it on once, and I was taking a walk during the pandemic, and I just felt something so beautiful. I'm like, is that me? It was almost surreal. So I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm impressed. So yes, I just love Flower Bomb Bloom, and I have a dent in it. The same thing for Dolce & Gabbana L'Impératrice. That's my second bottle, and I just love this fragrance. On summer, I just can't have enough of it. And I remember I was in an elevator and, you know, there were people around and they were like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. And I was in Florida and it was just really, really perfect. So that's my second bottle, and that's Dolce & Gabbana L'Impératrice. In the same token, I have another Dolce & Gabbana, and that's light blue. And that's the only light blue that I really am able to wear. The original light blue is, to me, a little bit, it just lasts forever. And whenever a fragrance lasts forever, to me, it turned a little bit metallic and a little bit synthetic. But this one is a citrus and a vanilla that is well blended, that is so beautiful. I just really, really love this Dolce & Gabbana Italian zest. You know, clearly with the limoncello from the Amalfi Coast in Italy, and anything that has to do with the Amalfi Coast and limoncello reminds me of this visit that I did in Capri and along the whole coastline in Italy and on the Amalfi Coast, and this perfume reminds me of it. That's why I have a big dent on it. Speaking of Italy and the Amalfi Coast, I have a big dent in this fragrance that you can barely see, and even the paper has come out of it, so I'll put a picture of it. And that's by CADEAU. It's one of the first fragrance house to have been, you know, that have existed. And I purchased this fragrance when I was in Italy on the island of Capri. I went directly, they have this beautiful, the perfumery is right there, and we get the whole story. It started with monk and in Capri, and they use those beautiful flowers from the island of Capri. And the whole line of CADEAU, which is not, I don't hear a lot about it. You know, it has Fiori di Capri, which is flower of Capri. This one is called, this one is kind of an aquatic one, so it reminds me of the beautiful water there in the island when we took the boat to go there. And this one is, I just really love this fragrance. It has a bit of a cologne, masculine feel to it, totally old world, totally classy, totally expensive smelling. I wore this fragrance and I was in a taxi, and it was almost embarrassing how, you know, someone in the taxi was like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. And Corallum, that's the name, Corallum. And I also had other ones that I no longer have, unfortunately, but I have to order from this company again, because every time I see this, it just makes me revive this beautiful time that I've spent in the Amalfi Coast, including going to the island of Capri. So that's by CADEAU, and I have a big dent in it. And I'm not even using it these days because I'm like, oh my God, until I order again from the company, I don't think I'm going to keep try to finish this. Oh my gosh. I grew up with Anais, so I always have backup of it. Believe it or not, you cannot see it. This one is virtually empty, and this one is virtually empty. My memory, my scent memory with Anais is extraordinary. So the original, I just always have it. That's Anais by Cacharel. Speaking of Cacharel, because I grew up in Cacharel, you can't grow up, French and so forth and not have Cacharel. So unfortunately, this is a Cacharel. I used to buy bottle after bottle, and it almost no longer, they no longer continue doing it, but it's called Scarlet after Scarlet Aurora. And it's just such a beautiful fragrance that smells so Caribbean, so beautiful. You know, I used to always purchase it in Haiti, and now I no longer find it anywhere. I've seen some on eBay, but I don't know if to trust it. But that's Scarlet by Cacharel. And so what else? Clearly you cannot have Tom Ford. I have a lot of my Tom Ford that have dents in them, but the bottles are black so you can see. But you cannot have Tom Ford and not have a dent in them. So clearly my Eau de Soleil Blanc has a dent because I don't go to vacation. I don't spend summer. I don't get myself on a boat without splashing Eau de Soleil Blanc on me. It's just as simple as that. That's the rich yacht feel. That's the freshness. That's the beauty. And I just love Eau de Soleil Blanc, so I have a dent in it. And I've talked ad libitum about this fragrance, Past Presence, and it's by Rhodes. And this is a fragrance that has African tea, and the bottom line of this fragrance is just how peaceful and how beautiful. It is a perfume that celebrates African literature, and it's just so beautiful. It reminds me of, you know, taking a safari in Africa and having a romantic dinner there. And it's just a very, very beautiful fragrance. So Past Presence, I have a dent in it. And this fragrance right here, I guess it's an honorable mention. It's Montguerlin, and that's a fragrance that's based with lavender, so it's another beautiful, peaceful fragrance that feels like very cottony, very, I'm not going to be kidding, very wifey. So you want to be very warm and cozy with this fragrance. I've seen a lot of videos where they kind of ask guys, you know, to rate different fragrance, what they think, and they're like, oh, this is what I want my wife to wear or my girlfriend to wear. Guys seem to really love this fragrance. Clearly it's a fragrance, I think the figure in the marketing was Angelina Jolie, and every time I see this fragrance, I remember this movie of Angelina Jolie where somewhere in France, in south of France, and she was wearing this beautiful long skirt, and it was just such a romantic setting, and I totally see that fragrance and can channel this type of beautiful, cottony, wifey, emotionally vulnerable and beautiful. So I have some dent in it because I was going to a stage where I was just putting this fragrance on a constant basis. And I also have a dent on Atelier Cologne because it's almost my companion fragrance. Like every time there is other fragrance and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to zest it up, so I'll just put Atelier Cologne on. So it doesn't look like a dent, but I use it a lot, and yeah, it has a dent in it. And last but not least, because this is a fragrance I just experienced, I purchased recently, and the first week I purchased it, I was putting it on so much. I was going to work out with it in the morning, and I'm wearing it at night going to bed because it's such a natural fragrance. So it's called Library of Flowers, and the perfumer is Margot Elena. And the story is such a beautiful story. It's the same company that makes Tokyo Milk and some other very American story. It's a very successful business story by a young woman. I believe she went and studied philosophy, and then she started this company. And to these days, the company is pretty hands-on, and they even produce those little things by hands. So the bottle is just very beautiful. The presentation is just so beautiful. And the company and some of the fragrances in the line was shown in Oprah. Like it's one of our magazine favorite things. And with merit, because just the approach is so cozy. The packaging is so beautiful. And the company, the way it is, they have it, you know, you can go and work out and do yoga and shop around for those beautiful scents. It's a beautiful, successful American story by a young person who just go into business for herself, and is just producing these beautiful products. And since I just encountered it, I've just been loving it. So that's Library of Flower, and it's just basic green cardamom, just 3 ingredients. But I've just been loving it so much because it smells so natural. And so that's last but not least, DENT. And I've been so happy to play Show Me Your DENT tag video. And so I have a variety of fragrances. I hope that you found some that you're actually using, that you also love, so that you can relate to those perfumes that I have with DENT. I just cannot say thank you enough to Yummy for 11 for inviting me to do this tag. Thank you so much, because this brings me, I feel, closer to the fragrance YouTube community, and I very much appreciate that. So here are the rules to the giveaway. In each of my videos this month, and I plan to do many in celebration of my birthday. So this is the second video where I am announcing a giveaway. So in the first one, I had a Miu Miu, and someone has won that. For this video, I also have another set of Miu Miu. So it has beautiful mini bottles. So you get 4 of them, 7.5 milliliters. And that's l'eau rosé et l'eau bleue. So you get 2 l'eau bleue and 2 l'eau rosé eau de toilette. This, okay? So here is how the game is played. If you can guess the day of my birthday this month, and you send me a comment letting me know what your guess is, you would have won this. And so you just have to let me know what your guess is for my birthday. And then clearly, if you're leaving it in the comment, don't leave your address. But if you win, then I would ask you to contact me on Instagram, and then I will expediently ship you this pretty set of Miu Miu. So good luck with the giveaway. Thank you for your attention. I would very much appreciate if you like my content to subscribe. I encourage you to subscribe to my channel to help it grow. And I also would very much like that you like the video if you do, and comment. I would very much appreciate that. All that counts, I believe, in terms of establishing the channel. So it's not just looking at the video and just finding me bizarre or funny or just loving me, but the support would also be very helpful in expressing that as well through your like and your subscription to this channel. So thank you so much for your attention. Until next time, bye.